Hello and welcome to On the Couch, a weekly video series where we talk to mental health professionals about a range of issues impacting us in Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Tracy Rogers, and today we have on the couch Karline Brathwaite, who's a drama therapist here at Wholeness and Wellness Counselling. Today we're talking about self-harm and depression among schools and how best to cope with it. So many of us in the field, and when I talk to my colleagues from a range of disciplines, we are seeing more and more that self-harm is a problem in Trinidad and Tobago.
Absolutely.
So self-harm that is injuring yourself, mainly through cutting. A lot of what we see is cutting, but could include other behaviors without the intention of dying.
Absolutely.
But inflicting pain on yourself. And we're also seeing a lot of depression. Now it's affecting boys and girls, men and women. But today we want to focus on girls and self-harm and depression and how best to cope with it.
Yes. So we are in fact noticing a lot more young people, young persons being admitted to the wards for self-harm, for cutting. And particularly I want to focus on the adolescent age group. If we think about growing up as teens or growing up, in school, and our adolescent times filled with so many things, so many different changes, new experiences, and today in this world, adolescents are dealing with a lot of things that even adults don't yet quite have their hands around. Cyberbullying, the identity confusion, all of these different things that they're being challenged with, but they're not getting enough information about what it is they're experiencing, how to cope. Children are not learning, adolescents are not learning how to cope anymore. And that is where we as adults are feeling. So we have a lot of our young girls particularly coming in with a lot of issues, a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of abuse, a lot of negligence, and they don't know how to make any sense of it. So it's being internalized, and there's this cutting to ease pain or to punish or to deal with the shame around what they may have experienced.
And sometimes it's because the pain is often not seen. So here's the thing about emotional ill health or psychological pain or emotional trauma. It is a pain that you have that's on the inside that people can't look at you and see. And I know, and whereas other things, you can see this person has
a broken leg,
this person has a handicap, maybe there's a sticker on your car, so you know that this person needs some sort of help or you
support.
need to approach them in a certain way. When we're dealing with emotional trauma, that's all on the inside. There is no indicator, no sign that says, I'm in pain, treat with me lightly or treat with me in a certain way. And for a lot of young girls who self-harm, they often express that it's a way of externalizing that pain that they're feeling inside.
Yes. Absolutely, And the thing about it is self-harm is serving a purpose, like you just mentioned, Tracy. It is their way of getting that release. And because we don't understand there's a purpose behind it, although it's maladaptive or negative, we tend to place a lot of shame onto the young girls. Why are you doing this for? You're stupid or what? How are you going to damage yourself like that?
Yourself?
Exactly. And we go there and we then make them feel, oh my gosh, this is me trying to help myself. Right? So it's serving a purpose for them.
And then they hide even more.
Yes, exactly.
So the problem that was beneath my skin even goes further. So we're talking to girls about coping with depression and self-harm, and I know you're getting ready to run a group at Wholeness and Wellness that's specifically targeted at that age group. It's group therapy, so it's an intimate experience, about 8 girls maximum, and you're going to spend 8 weeks working through this trauma. What are some of the things that a young person could expect if they wanted to participate in this group?
Absolutely. So one of the first things that I've noticed is that a lot of young girls or young persons, they don't have safe spaces to talk and to discuss and to just be themselves. So this group is a safe space. The aim of the group is to create a safe space with the persons, and it's an opportunity to explore your feelings, to explore your thoughts, to explore, what am I really feeling? And that's one of the other challenges that I've noticed with young people is that sometimes making sense of their own feelings is a difficult task. All right. So it's an opportunity to name some of those feelings, identify it and own it without judgment, without shame, no embarrassment. Because it's a group, it's an opportunity to connect with other people, to support others and be supported by other persons like yourself. You know, sometimes we go to the doctors or the parents and, you know, they can't connect.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity to connect with others who understand where you may be. It's also a great opportunity to explore and to learn how to cope better using the creative arts.
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes trauma and these negative experiences affect our memory. We can't think. We don't know how to talk about it. But when we approach it from the right brain, we get an opportunity to use arts or use music or movement. We learn how to cope with stress, you know, using the body, learning how to breathe through the pain. So a lot of more positive coping mechanisms will replace that.
I think that's a very powerful tool that you bring to therapy as well, because talking about self-harm, sometimes you don't even know how to begin to talk about my depression.
Yes.
How do I put a sensation in my body that I can barely make sense of into words?
Yes.
So it's really about that person learning more about the challenges and learning how to make their way towards healing.
Yes.
So before we close today, if you can give some tips to a young person out there who's struggling with depression, struggling with self-harm, what are a few things that you think they can do or should do to start on that road towards healing?
First of all, acknowledging that this is not your fault.
Yeah.
All right, this is not your fault. It's not something that you have done, but it's something that may have happened to you. All right, and just knowing that, I'm hoping that will give that person a little ease. So one, it's not your fault. Two, part of the work is beginning to acknowledge where you are, without judgment, without blaming yourself for anything. This is where I am right now. I may be hurting and I need support, and that's okay.
Loving acceptance.
Yes. So the work starts there, and then if you need the help, it's okay to ask for it, and we are here to help.
Thank you so much, Karline, for joining us today, and we're wishing you all the best. Thanks so much for joining us for this segment. Take care.